Welcome everyone, wonderful to be with you today. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadi Tamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And we will attempt to share the screen here. Share. Here we go, June 8th. In Asia. Happy Vaikasi Vasakam, which today here in Kauai is tomorrow afternoon. Veil Muruga. Should have put up my Murugan Murti instead of my Shiva one, I think. A new trend, so this was new 10, 15 years ago. A new trend in Hindu communities around the world is the widespread, one could say even faddish, application of the principles of the ancient Hindu science of Vastu to the design of businesses and homes. Vastu has always been used in the construction of Hindu temples and in village home design. In theory, the widened use of Vastu is in the Hindu community and beyond is a positive development. Vastu unfolds the scientific principles and models of spiritual art and architecture to yield a harmonious flow of energy in the physical environment, giving rise to good health, wealth, intelligence, happiness, and attunement with the wider universe. Renowned Indian architect and Vastu Shastra expert Dr. V. Ganapati Stapadi explained, in literal terms, Vastu means to dwell or to exist, and Shastra means science. The main aim of Vastu science is to create building spaces to live in harmony with subtle nature. Well said. Following Vastu principles of design can certainly make businesses more successful and homes more harmonious. However, the problematic trend is to emphasize it above all else, thinking that the sole cause of obstacles and lack of success is the flawed layout of one's home or office. For example, the sales of a business drop precipitously, and a Vastu expert is consulted. He asserts that the cause is the poor layout of the space and advises, rebuild the structure according to my Vastu design, and your problems will quickly disappear. It's a nice bird call. We know of many Hindus who received such advice over the last few years, some who inadvisedly spent large sums of money taking down and rebuilding parts of their home or office, or moving to a new location in anticipation that this would solve all their problems. The truth is that in most cases, it did not. Designing one's home and business spaces according to Vastu principles is an excellent goal. When asked, we encourage Hindus to have their underlined new home or business designed in this way. The traditional all-granite hand-carved Yerevan temple we are building here in Hawaii follows the guidelines of Vastu, as interpreted by Dr. V. Ganapati Stapadi, whom we quoted above. Regarding Vastu remodeling, he observes, modifications of a building lead to a disturbance of energy inside the enclosed space. Hence, the Shastras do not recommend any post-construction alterations. As our modern age has created a lifestyle crisis, many architects and designers are now turning to the ancient traditions of Vastu for inspiration. Sadly, this has led to a lot of exploitation and misinterpretation. And a question to you. If lack of success is not due to Vastu, what is the general cause? Common sense tells us that there are many causes for not being successful. In my experience, the most common one is lack of proper planning. Lack of proper planning, which is the title of this keynote, Planning the Key to Success. Had to save the title so we could ask that question first. Written in 2007. This is when this Vastu craze in Malaysia was really strong, according to what I was told. In the words of French author and aviator Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Story, true story. A young couple who had pilgrimaged to our Kauai monastery told me of their ambition to give up their current employment and open an ice cream shop in Florida, where it's always warm. I encouraged them to develop a solid business plan before starting and suggested working with their local Small Business Administration, part of the government, SBA, a government agency that gives sound advice to small businesses for free. They opened the shop soon after, but never took the time to develop a business plan. A few months later, they emailed me lamenting that the new business was not doing well. Little wonder, I thought. Gurudeva strongly counseled devotees on the importance of planning. He wrote a sutra expressing the relationship of planning to success. Shiva's devotees approach each enterprise with deliberate thoughtfulness and act only careful consideration. So, what is the second part of this sutra? Act only after careful consideration. What does the rest of it say? They succeed in every undertaking by having a clear purpose, a wise plan, persistence, and push. Call those the 4 P's: purpose, plan, persistence, and push. So plan is second after purpose. The quality and comprehensiveness of our plan is a major factor in our ultimate success. Thus, it is wise to draw on all the planning resources available to us. There are many good books and software programs on business planning. However, it is essential to also seek out first-hand advice from experts in the field. Ask them key questions about the opportunities and challenges. In larger adventures, it is advisable to hire a professional consultant. Creating a plan when starting a business is crucial. That plan must then be updated every few years to keep up with our rapidly changing world. Once your plan is complete, inaugurate it through prayer. That's the 5th P. Go to the temple on an auspicious day and worship Lord Ganesha through attending puja, having an archana or a special abhishek or mahoma, beseeching the blessings for a grand success. Of course, the benefits of planning are not limited to business or financial side of life. Personal life can also benefit, for a plan keeps us focused and motivated towards specific goals in life's various departments. Though the connection may not be immediately apparent, having an up-to-date personal plan is quite helpful for our spiritual advancement, as it helps us maintain a balanced approach to living. To help you create a business plan, there are scores of resources available. You can find web pages listing specialized software for business plans. Search engines give you hundreds to choose from. But if you Google personal plan software or family plan software, how many do you find? Of course, this was back then, 2009. 0. Search for books to buy on the subject again. Countless titles on business planning, but none on personal planning. So there may be some today, but back then there weren't any. Amazing. None. It is clear we have to create our own approach in this area. We can, however, draw a few important points from business plan resources. They all start by listing the objectives and outlining the strategy to accomplish them, including financial considerations. The business plan develops goals for its various departments, such as production, sales, marketing, and finance. For a personal plan, it is useful to divide life into its major departments. Gurudeva designed a five-fold division that encompasses all aspects of life. What is Gurudeva's five-fold division? Spiritual, social, cultural, economic, and educational, to which we have added a sixth, physiological. First step is to list our goals or objectives in each of the 6 areas. Ask 6 questions and write down the answers to each. What are the families or individuals? Spiritual goals, social goals, cultural goals, economic goals, educational goals, physical and health goals. As you begin this process, question will sooner or later arise of how many years ahead to plan? 1, 2, 3, 6, 10. Gurudeva recommended a 6-year time frame is ideal, then each year adding 1 more year to the plan to keep it always 6 years into the future. However, if 6 years seems a bit daunting at first, a good minimum period to start with is 3 years. Here are some sample goals in each area. Spiritual. Yearly pilgrimage to a temple or holy place, even if it's just a few hundred miles away. For example, Singapore devotees enjoy group pilgrimages to temples in neighboring Malaysia. Social. Extended family gatherings, special family outings. When is the last time your family went horseback riding? Popular in the U.S. Cultural. Children taking dance and music lessons, attending cultural performances as a family, adults taking time to paint, play music, and sing. Economic, saving for the children's education, saving for retirement. Educational, children's secular education, adults acquiring new skills, training to advance career, learning about herbs, healing, making preserves, arts and crafts. Physiological, all health goals, diets, panchakarma and other therapies, and fasting regimens. Exercise and care of one's physical environment, including clothing and hobbies, can be included in this category. As with a business plan, it is necessary to revise your personal plan periodically to adjust to major changes in circumstances, such as moving to a new community, job change, retirement, caring for an elderly parent, children leaving home when they marry or go off to college, large inheritances, and severe illness or accident. When challenges arise, it is important to act swiftly, tactically, and responsibly to find the cause and apply the proper remedy. Don't listen to those who would solve your problems and build their own business by rebuilding or rearranging your house or offices. It's not, in my experience, an effective solution. Work instead on your plan. Who knows? You may become so successful that, as your plan manifests your aspirations, 5 years from now you can put up a new building designed according to the venerable wisdom of Vastu. So that's our first topic. Basically, don't remodel according to Vastu and think it will solve your problems. Develop a good plan. 64 character qualities from our workbook. Self-control. I hope we didn't do this one already. How would you define self-control? did 5 keynotes at once, so I get a little confused as to what's in each one. The next 2 are recorded, and then I did one for right after I get back from my trip. Workbook gives this definition. Self-control means harnessing desires, emotions, and actions. I strengthen it by exercising willpower when I am tempted to play or eat too much or stay up too late. The opposite is self-indulgence. And Gurudeva, if you can see ahead that you will not react, proceed. Dictate to yourself, face your mistakes, and don't make them again. Breaking spiritual laws creates reactions in the subconscious, and man loses spiritual power. You can't work at correcting something. Either you do it or you don't do it. You don't work at not falling off a cliff. A big precipice that drops off 100 feet. You just don't step forward. That's what you don't do. Take a moment to identify a few ways in which you could improve in self-control. And third topic is Yoga Swami's words of our master. Keep the antakaranas free from sickness, and be careful, be awake, be alert, be vigilant, and become omnipresent. Antakaranas, for those who don't remember, are in the tattvas, mental faculties, or tattvas 14, 15, and 16. So a little review here. Buddhi tattva, the intellect. Ahankara tattva, the ego. Manas tattva, instinctive mind. So the 3 of them work together as the mental component. So read it again. Keep the antakaranas free from sickness. And be careful, be awake, be alert, be vigilant, and become omnipresent. What does that mean to you? What comes to me is Yoga Swami's casual reference to omnipresence shows how he looked at it as a natural state for a seeker to attain. He doesn't make a big deal about being omnipresent. Just makes it seem so simple, which is good to keep in mind. If the mind remains pure, that is equal to all yoga asanas. What does that mean to you? What strikes me is a simple idea that it shows the importance of purity. Atma dharshan will arise when there is a yearning desire to know the self, and when attachment to the possessions of others entirely disappears. You must press hard within yourself. If you do that, you will have the desire for scripture knowledge. You must squeeze the sugar cane to extract the juice. What does that mean to you? What strikes me, Yoga Swami is stressing that experiencing the Atma Darshana, requires a great deal of effort. Taking the juice out of sugarcane manually or with a simple machine. Takes a lot of effort. Oh, thank you very much. Oh.